The shadow hated the girl so much for so long. Until one day, the shadow realized she was being tested by God.
The Tethered are not aliens or supernatural demons. They are, in essence, us, repressed and marginalized. The only difference? They've been stashed away, overlooked, and made to dwell in a dystopian underbelly. Peele raises those stakes by establishing that the Tethered share our origins. Our fear of the unknown is really a fear of parts of ourselves that we refuse to face. Their underground existence, depicted as a drab, hellish mirror of our own privileged world above, symbolizes the parts of society that we neglect. This inversion not only heightens the film's tension, but also serves as a significant metaphor for the dual nature of identity and the societal consequences of repression. Peele isn't merely asking us to fear them, but also to understand. This isn't merely a horror setting, it's a sci-fi device. The underbelly of society, the hidden realm of the dispossessed, it's a dual existence, just like the parallel universes depicted in many classic sci-fi narratives. Think The Twilight Zone, or even H.G. Wells' A Time Machine, where the cozy world above exists by the grace of those below. The Tethered are an externalized manifestation of systemic neglect, forced to live in subhuman conditions while the world above indulges in comfort and privilege. That line, "We are Americans,"
We're Americans,
isn't a throwaway, it's a gut punch. It makes us have to reevaluate who us is and who we believe them to be. Peele weaves duality into every frame of us. The film's very title is a play on this theme, suggesting that we are, by nature, divided. On one side, there's the familiar, middle-class life we assume is normal. On the other, the tethered, our hidden, darker selves, constantly remind us of the fragility of that normalcy. And here we get to one of the film's most potent symbols, the mirror. In us, mirrors are far more than just reflective surfaces. They serve as a powerful metaphor for introspection. Every time a mirror appears, it isn't simply capturing the image of a character, it's inviting us to confront the hidden aspects of identity. The mirror reflects the divide between the persona we present to the world and the darker, repressed self we often ignore. It blurs the boundary between our familiar reality and an alternate existence, a shadow realm filled with suppressed fears and desires. So what does all of this mean? Because Peele isn't simply spinning a scary story, he's making us interrogate the way we perceive the world. He uses the lies of the tethered to make social commentary. The horror is not only that these figures intrude into our lives, it's the way that they were always there, invisible and ignored. The horror of the tethered is not supernatural, it's social. Peele is showing us through the other that the most horrifying monsters aren't from another world. They're the ones we create through inequality, neglect, and repression.
run!
On the surface, scissors are just an everyday tool, but in us, they take on a much deeper meaning.
There's a duality to scissors, both literally and physically. You know, they're a whole made up of two parts, but also they lie in this territory between the mundane and the absolutely terrifying.
They symbolize the act of severance, the painful process of cutting away parts of our identity that we'd rather not face. In the film, the scissors become a dual-edged instrument. In the hands of the tethered, they are not merely weapons, but a stark reminder of the violence inherent in our internal divisions. They force us to confront the raw, unsettling reality that our darker sides are not necessarily foreign, tangible subjects, but integral parts of who we are, waiting to be acknowledged. The terror isn't confined to ghostly figures or gruesome imagery, it's embedded in the social fabric of our lives. By integrating sci-fi tropes and potent symbolism, Peele not only entertains but also critiques the way we deal with identity, privilege, and the shadows of our past. Ultimately, the film forces us to confront a chilling truth. The most horrifying monsters might just be the ones we create by ignoring the parts of ourselves that we'd rather leave in the dark. And with that, thank you for listening.